Yo, what's up? I'm Artemis Prime, and today we're talking about this bike, the RFZ Z40 by Apollo. So I got it. I got it just real quick in the scheme. This isn't the max. It isn't the one with the 19 and 17. This is a 17 front wheel, a 14 rear wheel, 32.5-inch seat height. Otherwise, there's really no difference between the bikes other than some tire differences. So I don't see a lot of videos on these bikes, let alone videos that really go into detail about the bike itself. I don't know if it's not super popular yet or what the case may be, but I went with it because it's a 140cc motor, and I wanted something with just a little more bang. The factory specs say 11 horsepower, so I wanted something with a little more oomph on here. And you see in the back, I got a KX 250 and a YZ 250, which I'm currently both rebuilding. All right, so to get in the details, I don't love the graphics at all on these bikes, so I went ahead and got a custom graphics kit on Amazon, just a real simple RFZ Racing. I added a couple of stickers that I made. Everybody knows Z140 boy. No, just a quick little walk around with the bike. I did some upgrades on it, and we will go over that as well. So I put new grips on it. Start up here at the top. New grip on it. The grips that were on it aren't bad. I went ahead and bought these because I thought they were going to be bad, but they're actually pretty good. Handlebar is pretty decent. I changed this front. So if you get a pro taper for 1 1/8 bar, it doesn't necessarily fit the triple clamp as well. So I had to like zip tie it, and I like the all black look anyways than having the cover on it. I haven't, it's a plastic tank, so a lot of people might have that question about RFZs, the Z20 or other bikes. This is a 2022, and it has the plastic tank, which is really nice, rather than that stupid metal tank that they have. I haven't upgraded the tires yet. These are the original tires on here, and I've rode this pretty hard a couple of times on some pretty terrible terrain, and these Chinese tires are holding up pretty good. I'm gonna put Dunlops on it when these wear off. I'm not the person that's gonna just buy the Dunlops just because. I'm gonna wait till these are toast and then get some new tires. So we got the disc brakes are really nice. The suspension, you can see a little bit in here. Suspension is really nice, actually. So on the second thing that I did with it is I changed the fork oil out and went with a, what did I get? A 10 weight heavy fork oil. And it took about 160 mLs to put in each one. And it stiffened it up a little bit more, so it's not as sloppy coming out, because the fork oil that they put in there that comes with the bike looks like olive oil. So not even olive oil, like canola oil. It's super lightweight. It's kind of squishy in the front. Nothing crazy, but I needed it a little more stiffer just for me and my weight. So these aren't factory connection KYBs. I put the sticker on there just to, be lame. I did upgrade it with an oil cooler as well. So this is just off Amazon, and it doesn't, I think it's like $50 for this one. There's not a lot of colors, so I went with the gold just because red and blue wouldn't really go with the green. On these bikes, they come with the jumper on here. So they're already ready for an oil cooler just right there. You don't need a special adapter plate or nothing. It's just ready to go. I didn't change the pipe. As you can see, the pipe is really nice as it opens up from 28 or less than 28 into a 32 millimeter pipe that runs all the way back. Pretty nice pipe. It comes with the upgraded ignition system, which is really nice. I do recommend getting, getting multiple plugs just in case. They're super cheap, and they're the NGK. What is it? I have them over here. I have it over here. So I'm doing a little experiment. NGK C7 HSA plug. So this is the plug that was in it. And I took it out and put a different plug in. Not that anything's wrong. I found these at Walmart. The 4194s. These are supposed to be replacements for the C7 HSA. I'm going to try them out. Additional upgrades to this thing. So I have a Mikuni knockoff VM 26 millimeter, and I'm getting rid of that air filter and putting a uni on it. The motor. All right, so I immediately put in a Z40 Race Cam and switched out the springs in here for the valves. This is a big valve head. It comes standard with the big valve head. So the Z40 Cam really opened it up a lot actually. Now the timing part on here, there's a timing mark right here. And, it's a pain in the ass because it's such a small area to work in to get it to the right teeth. But when you do, this thing just opens up. So the first ride I had on here was before with the stock 140 cylinder. This is a 146 cylinder with a 57 millimeter piston, high compression piston. So this is like 163 on TB. So I got this just to make it a full 146 with the high compression piston and the Z40 cam with springs. Now you're gonna need a filler gauge. The intake is a 0.006 thousandths clearance, and the exhaust is a 4 thousandths clearance with a feeler gauge. And you just want to get it down tight, but not too tight. You want some drag, but not a lot of drag, and then check your rockers to see if they move just slightly a little bit. Then they should be set. I just put this on and heat cycled it and rode it a little bit. Nothing too hard. I think the jetting in this is I have a 105 main and a 25 pilot. You have it about 2 turns out, and then I have the needle set in the 5th position to richen it up and just kind of even it. So it took a little bit of tuning to get it. I had some cutout and things like that, and I didn't want to I didn't have like a 107 main or any different pilots, so I kind of had to tinker around with it to get it to be where it needs to be. I did pop this off. There's 3 bolts. You pop this off. I did go with a 16 tooth, 428 pitch sprocket, because the 14 tooth on it is just, basically first gear is non-existent. I went with the 16 and not the 17 because I thought I ordered the 17 and I actually ordered the 16. But it really makes first gear a lot more usable. A little torquey granny gear coming out of there, which really improves your top speed. I didn't do anything with the rear sprocket. So I had I'm using the stock CDI. I put a racing CDI on there and it ended up dying. But the stock CDI, man, I mean, it has a really high rev on it, and I didn't notice a single difference doing the racing CDI or performance CDI with the rev limiter removed. I show no difference. So the last thing that I did is the stock exhaust is pretty good, but obviously I wanted to open it up a little bit for airflow reasons because I changed to a high compression piston and went up to 146 cc's, and I have a race cam in it and a bigger carb. So I wanted to be able to have more airflow through it. So I went with this Big Gun Evo M Mini Series. I think it was 160 bucks on eBay. You take out the insert that's on the stock pipe and put it in this pipe, or in this mid pipe here that's separate. You can separate it and then tighten it down, and it's real tight. Without it, it's going to be real loose and it's not good. One thing to keep in mind is these screws here, these Allen keys, they strip out really easily if you're changing and putting. I have to put the spark arrestor in it because I'm here in California, and well, you know, it's trash. This bike is a red sticker bike, but I register and get my ATV dirt bike permits out of Oregon because I do most of my riding there, and California recognizes that, and I can ride this pretty much all year round with my spark arrestor. That's in the bike to make it, force legal. That's pretty much it on the bike for the upgrades right now. I haven't done anything with these handles. These handles are actually in pretty good shape. They handle really well. They feel real sturdy. Nothing really out of the ordinary. Now, if you wanted to get this bike and not do anything to it, put it right together, you're going to have fun on it. This thing is torquey as hell, man. It has a ton of power, and I'm about 180 pounds, and it carries me super well. And it's a perfect size bike for me too, because I'm about 5'7", and it does really well versus like these big 250s, especially this 96 YZ 250, which I have a part. It sits so high. It's such a hard bike to ride for my height. That's why I'm going to be selling it. I'm going to keep the KX. KX is 2001, and it sits a lot lower. It's way more friendlier for my my height stature. But that's pretty much it. Overview of the bike. Took about 2 hours to put together when it came out of the box. I recommend if you can get it already put together, then do so. But if you can't, get it shipped to your house. I got it off Superior Motorsports for like $1,400 shipped. Really good price, and this thing straight rips, man. I had a ball riding this, doing like some enduro type stuff previously at our family property, and it ripped and it sounded super good. So once you get that jetting right for the type of upgrades that you might have done, or you keep the PE, the Nibby PE 22 or 20, yeah, I think it's a 22 millimeter that comes stock on it, you're still gonna rip, man. This thing has a ton of power. I just like to tinker and add things to it, so that's what I did. I highly recommend if you're looking or in the market for a medium-sized dirt bike or a larger size pit bike, this is the way to go affordability-wise, and you're just gonna have a ton of fun. I can answer pretty much any questions that anybody puts in the comments about it. Like if you want to know specifics and things that I messed with, because I've had two Mikunis on here and a Nibby 26, and I've had just got it dialed in with this other Mikuni that I had. The Nibby I couldn't get to run right. It was just not that great. And not to mention with the Nibby, with the bigger ones, you're going to need an adapter that goes on there. It doesn't bolt straight to the manifold, and there's just, it's really, this is the carb to go with. It's equally irritating to tune as well, but once it's running right, this thing's screaming machine. I haven't done a top speed test. I went and bought this little cell phone holder so I can run my GPS app that I have to do a speed test on it. But I can tell you right now, like, not having that, this thing just, it flies, man. Yeah, so like, subscribe, comment. You got questions, you need answers on it, I will do my best to do so, just to kind of open up the conversation regarding these bikes, because they have almost non-existent on YouTube. And yeah, catch me on the next video. Hopefully, I'll be writing videos soon to kind of get, maybe I'll do a top speed here in my neighborhood without hopefully pissing off the neighbors. We'll talk about this one. I got an SSR fully automatic over here. Bike that I've been tinkering on and tweaking with. So you got questions about this SSR 125. I got questions, or I got answers on this little bad boy too, because I've been messing with this and upgrading different things. Like you can see the nibby on here with this giant air filter. I haven't really done anything to the motor. It's fully automatic. It's a sweet little beginner bike rider for anybody. I love to ride it just because, like, you just start it, electric start it, and you go. There's no shifting, anything involved with that. But yeah, anyways, like, subscribe, check me out with the next video, questions in the comments, and we'll get this bike the exposure it needs, because it's badass.